What's up guys, and welcome to another episode of El Jardín Perdido. Today we're doing a polar vortex update. Alright, so a few weeks ago we had a polar vortex come through. It wasn't as hard as some of our past storms like 2021, but we did get a significant amount of snow. I'd say 3 to 4 inches. I just wanted to give you guys a little update, let you know what survived, what didn't. I did protect a lot of stuff. I had made a greenhouse out of my pergola that worked like a charm. Have a small greenhouse up front I've showcased on this channel, and seemed to protect everything. Last minute I dug up a few things. I still haven't even taken them out yet. They're still inside. But yeah, I'll show you around. This year isn't as, you know, I've learned not to hold on so tightly. I think it's just part of the evolution of the food forest here and my evolution with it. As you guys know, in the past, I've lost some goats and some chickens, lost lots of plants along the way. And even this time, I've done a chicken update on my hybrids, and lo and behold, the dogs you hear right now, they're chained up, but they had gotten loose and taken out my entire flock and all my quail. It was a little hit, but I'm bouncing back by, I ordered some eggs online. I got some yam samani. They're incubating right now, like 3 days in, and I found some quail at a local feed store. So restocking things, I actually think it's pretty cool because the only reason I had hybrid chickens in the first place was because my original yam samani flock, same thing happened. Dog came in and I had to hybridize them in order to at least keep the genetics. So now I'm gonna have a pure flock, which is cool because I really do love them. It's not just the commodity, it's the fact that they're really docile, they're really sweet. They have kind of like a mystic vibe to them. So I'm looking forward to that new flock. But yeah, let me show you guys around. Not a whole lot of changes, but just show you some things that have survived and things that I need to cut back. So this bed did pretty well, excuse the lawnmower there. But yeah, I had some collards, some Swiss chard over there. I dug out the white sapote, of course. You know, it completely snowed on the brassicas here. The broccoli is doing just fine. I don't know if you guys have ever had fresh broccoli, but it's like tomatoes. It's just like, can't beat it. So there's the pergola wrapped up. I'll show you guys in a minute, and I'll show you what's in there. But what I'm gonna have to go and do through my bananas is pretty much, I don't have my machete with me, but I do have this buck knife, but I'm pretty much gonna have to chop these way down and just mulch in place. That's what I do every year. Usually they're like complete mush, and this year they're not that bad. They're a little bit firm, so it may be that they bounce back a little better this year around. So, in just looking around, you can kind of see through the greenhouse, it did pretty well. Everything's still green. Things like this fire bush, pretty much to the ground. What I did do was go around and mulch everything at the base really well. I didn't go crazy trying to baby everything. So we have cassava here. I did the same thing with that. You know, the roots are really what helps this to bounce back. Some of this stuff I kind of peeled back a little to check on things, but like the moringa here, you can see as I do a scratch test, that's like kind of gone. It's not complete mush, but when it's looking like that, that's probably a little bit bleak, but a little further down, it's nice and green still, so that should bounce back well. Guavas are in a pretty poor state. This has been established here for years, so I did mulch up around it, but I didn't end up trying to remove this or anything because it's been so well established. A lot of these with all my bananas, and so with papaya, what I do is I go through and squeeze until it gets kind of firm, which is pretty low. And right here, it's like pretty solid. So I'll cut it back to around there. But I did mulch up around a lot of my papayas. Curry tree, bit it, but it has lots of shoots, and I dug up one of the shoots. That was a Suriname cherry, that ditch there. And so my star fruit, that always dies and takes forever to come back. So I dug that up and made a few clones, you know, by splitting it, but I also left roots in there. So it should come back here. And then I have a couple more potted. I really should have harvested more sugarcane, but yeah, sugarcane looks pretty toasted. I'll have to double check. Some of these canes may be thick enough that it'll be all right. I did have my first almost ready bunch of ice cream bananas, and they got toasted too. So like I said, hopefully with the bananas this year, they bounce back a little better. When we had a hard frost, it took them a while, and then we had a drought, so they just weren't able to really bounce back as well this year. So, you know, if you see that trunk, that has great potential. It's not soft at all, just a little discoloration. Maybe just chop it back a little bit on top. Let me take you guys in the greenhouse real quick. So I did have a heater in here, and it seemed to work well. I mean, you see Queen of the Night is pretty sensitive, and it's still green, it's doing fine. Cassava is really sensitive. It got a little toasty here, but that's a very tropical, but look, like, still very green. It's not rotted at all, so that's great. Some different bananas in here, pineapples, they did fine. The damage on the bamboo is more just from the extreme heat this year and drought, but they're still okay. I should repot them. But yeah, we've got like avocado seedlings, they're fine. And yeah, it fared really well for 20 degrees. You know, that's not crazy hard. Looks like we have a bird in here. That's awesome. I didn't expect that. May have to let that little guy loose. All right, guys, so I just wanted to give you a quick update and just a general update for this year. Like I said, I've had some hardships in the past. Even this year, you know, I took a few little blows, but my perception is different now. Along with the food forest here, I've also acquired some resilience, and that's what I'm starting to admire about this. It goes in meanders, and I meander with it, and I like where it's going, and I'm very optimistic about this year. I plan on planting a lot in this year. Everything's so established now and kind of maintenance free. I have a bunch of wood chips, so what I'm gonna do as far as maintenance is cut everything back, all the bananas, papayas, stuff like that. Everything that I potted up, I'll get back out here. Just keep it in the pot in case there's another freeze coming, because we're really not in the clear until March. Even though we got like 3 inches of snow, 4 inches of snow, I'd still consider it pretty mild, as far as like in the past we've had, you know, these freezes went back up into like the 30s, the 40s, the 50s in the afternoon, and kind of thawed out, froze again, you know. So it wasn't, it's not gonna totally toast everything. It's more like a seasonal thing. You know, the winter things go dormant, so I'm not as bummed this year. So yeah, that's my update. I hope anyone watching this, you know, for the first time, consider subscribing and following me on my journey. But we've been through this a few years, and those who have subscribed already, I thank you. But yeah, like I said, I'm optimistic, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll keep you posted. All right, guys, well, that's going to do it for today's video. As always, thanks for tuning in. Until next time.